Hello everyone, in this lesson we are going to talk about verbs. Okay, so this is going to be one of the most important topic. Okay, let's go ahead. If you want to speak English correctly, and you need to understand verbs because verbs tell us what someone does or what state someone or something is in. So what exactly is a verb? A verb is a word that usually expresses an action, an event, or a state. Let's make this very simple. Verbs. First, we have action verbs. These tell us what someone or something does. For example, eat, run, work, study, write, read, drive, play, cook. Let's use them in sentences. I work every day. She speaks English. He drives a car. They play cricket. The words work, speaks, drives, and play are verbs because they describe actions. Okay? Now let's go to state verbs. But here is something important. Not every verb describes a physical action. Some verbs describe a state, feeling, thought, possession, or condition. These are often called stative verbs. For example, know, understand, believe, like, love, want, need, remember, own, belong. So these all are stative verbs. For example, I know the answer. She likes coffee. I understand the question. He owns a car. These verbs don't describe something physical that you can necessarily see happening. They describe a state. Next are be verbs. Now let's talk about one of the most important groups of verbs in English. Be verbs. The main forms are am, is, are, was, were. We use them to talk about identity, condition, feelings, location, descriptions. For example, I am a teacher. She is happy. They are students. He was tired. We were at home. Notice that there isn't necessarily an action. For example, she is happy. Is connects she with the description happy. Now, helping verbs. Now we have helping verbs, also called auxiliary verbs. These verbs help the main verb form. Questions, negatives, different tenses, emphasis. Some common helping verbs are do, does, did, have, has, had, am, is, are, was, were. For example, do you speak English? She doesn't like coffee. Did you call him? Here, do, does, and did help us form questions and negatives. We also use have, has, and had. I have finished my homework. My work. She has completed the project. They had already left. Okay? Now, modal verbs. Another important group is modal verbs. Some common modal verbs are can, could, may, might, must, should, would, will. They express things such as ability, possibility, permission, obligation, advice, future intention. For example, I can swim, ability. It might rain, that's possibility. You should study, advice. You must wear a belt, seat belt, that's obligation. I will call you tomorrow, future intention. One important rule is that after a modal verb, we normally use the base form of the verb. So we say, she can speak English, not she speaks English. Okay? Regular and irregular verbs. Now let's talk about regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs usually form the past tense by adding ed. For example, work worked, play played, watch watched, clean cleaned. But irregular verbs don't follow this pattern. For example, go went, eat ate, see saw, buy bought, take took, write wrote. So you need to learn many irregular verbs individually. Transitive and intransitive verbs. Now let's look at a slightly more advanced concept. Some verbs need an object. These are called transitive verbs. For example, I bought a car. Bought what? A car. So bought is a transitive verb here. Another example. She opened the door. Opened what? The door. But some verbs don't need an object. These are called intransitive verbs. For example, the baby slept. We don't need to say what the baby slept. Another example, he arrived. The sentence is complete. Next, verb forms. English verbs can appear in different forms. Let's take the verb work. Base form, work, I work every day. Third person singular, works. She works every day. Past, worked. I worked yesterday. Present participle, working. I am working now. Past participle, worked. I have worked here for 5 years. So, one verb can have different forms depending on the tense and sentence structure. Common verb mistakes. Let's look at some mistakes English learners commonly make. Mistake number 1. He don't like coffee. That's incorrect. The correct is he doesn't like coffee. That's the correct sentence. Why? Because he, she, and it, we use doesn't. Mistake number 2. He can speak English. That's incorrect because the correct sentence is she can speak English. After a modal verb like can, use the base verb. Next mistake, I am agree. That's incorrect. You say I agree. Agree is already a verb. We don't need am. Now, mistake number 4, I didn't went there. That's incorrect. I didn't go there is correct. Because after did and didn't, we use the base form. Let's practice. Now I want you to identify the verbs in these sentences. I work from home. Verb, work. She is very happy. Verb, is. They played football yesterday. Verb, played. He can speak English. Verbs, can, speak. I have finished my work. Verbs, have and finished. Now, here is the speaking challenge. Now, I want you to talk about your daily routine. Try to use at least 10 different verbs. For example, I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth, take a shower, and have breakfast. Then I start work. I check my emails, attend meetings, and talk to my colleagues. In the evening, I cook dinner and watch television. Now identify all the verbs. Wake up, brush, take, have, start, check, attend, talk, cook, watch. This is the best way to learn verbs. Don't just memorize them. Use them in sentences and conversations. Recap. Let's do a quick recap. Action verbs show actions. Stative verbs describe states, thoughts, feelings, etc. Be verbs am, is, are, was, were. Helping verbs do, does, did, have, has, had, etc. Modal verbs: can, could, should, must, will, etc. Regular verbs usually form the past with ed. Irregular verbs don't follow the regular pattern. And most importantly, a strong understanding of verbs will make learning tenses much easier. Okay? In the next topic, we will learn adjectives. How to describe people, places, things, and situations clearly and naturally. Thank you very much, and I'm gonna see you in the next lesson. Take care. Bye bye.